New pose, new video. So, whoop. Wait, what is that little edge there? I'm working on a short film about a three-headed mutant chihuahua that is protecting a punk city against the attack of a giant air fryer invasion. And I'm showing everything. I'm showing all the behind the scenes and how I'm building this animated short film. And I'm sharing everything with you. Let's go. Let's go work. So I have this pose here, image, and here in this other layer here that I have here, I'm going to start working on this. How is that I divide my process, to say in some way? I do first a rough pass or a sketch pass. Then once I have that rough sketch pass, I start doing a rough blocking with my rig, like a blocking pass. And then on top of that blocking pass, I do a super fast rough tie down. And on top of that, I pose the rig. And on top of the rig, I do some notes to polish. So I put some notes or final draw overs and after this I go and yeah, polish the rig. And this is interesting because this is a combination between traditional approach or traditional animation approach, traditional, and this is rig, and it comes like this: traditional rig, traditional rig, traditional rig, traditional rig, traditional rig. And by having that approach, first of all, I don't get pissed off of just moving pieces around, but I actually draw and I enjoy drawing more than just moving pieces of a rig. So this is the perfect combination, the perfect formula that I like to use just to enjoy the process a bit more, but also to guarantee amazing results at the end. So let's put this something around here. And now, let's create a new layer and we are putting an F here as formula and then put in there. Now, I'm going to grab a brush here that I love, that is marker number 2. Awesome. Now, I have this pose that is completely out of model from the animatic, but I have the intention or the story behind the pose that I'm going to work on right now, which is this dude is avoiding this attack from this giant air fryer that is trying to cut. So, with that in mind, I hit my coffee too much. With that in mind, I have this line of action. Look, I have something like this. So, this is the story. This dude is like, oh, la concha tu madre. Now, this character is out of model. This is the final model. So I'm going to do a fast sketch just to try and figure out the shapes that I will be using for this dude. So first of all, this is my line of action, so everything will follow that flow. And some entertainment thing that I put here is like this head is squashing here towards the shoulder, because when they move, everything is a mess. Dude, this monster have 3 heads, so everything is moving like crazy. So that's something that I would like to bring here, and let's start the sketching. So the rhythm of my line of action is telling me like, yeah, the back is having this force that is pointing in this way, and the belly is maybe going in this way, and this belly is also pointing here. This belly is leading the force here to this leg, sustaining this the weight of this character. The leg shape have something like this. So this leg is where it have all the weight. So I'm just seeing the visual vocabulary that I use here in terms of lines and just translating all of those lines here. This is a super rough sketch, so I'm not trying to be precise. I'm just feeling this pose. So here's the back, and here's the chest that is popping up, and here this leg maybe I can one line here to here, and this is one line thing is something that I like to. Oopsie, here I'm cooking a new video. Here, the one-lining thing is something that I like to mention a lot, and I always like to show this wallpaper that I have here from a lot of screen captures from the 9 Old Men, old Disney drawings, animations. And here, for example, you see the butt of this cat having one line all the way here to the foot, or this one line from this chicken here, from the belly all the way here to the leg. But this time I'm going to do something interesting, and is what is reflecting on this drawing here. You see this line that is connecting here the heel of this character all the way to the butt, and from the butt to the other leg. That is exactly the type of one line that I want to get here in this drawing. And is that here I want to stretch this so it feels like a tension between these two legs opening, because it's like this, like ah, la concha, no, it's like avoiding this, oh, la concha, so I have to stretch that part. So we are having something like this, we're having the leg doing something like this, we're having this. I'm not sure how this leg will like things goes crazy here. So this leg, the structure of this leg is something like this. We have one tube here, one thing, another thing here, another thing here, and then the foot. So it's something like that. So I'm trying to just roughly sketch something that makes sense in terms of that. And I don't have to be super accurate. Sometimes I can just cheat some things around. Maybe I can make this like an actual leg. I don't know. I'll figure it out as I move forward. But for now, I'm not stuck there, because I cannot laser focus on this, because I have to connect all of this with this shape. And maybe I want also this leg to look up, so I can follow all of this rhythm here like this. Amazing. Let's say that that's a leg. Now we have these shoulders, and these shoulders, these have big shoulders, so we have something like this, and we can have something like this, and the pause, this it comes like this, and poop, something like this. This is the arms, and these okay, we can be like something like this. Instead of being like this super symmetrical, I can extend this arm a bit. Let's see if that makes sense actually. So we have another shoulder here. No, what I'm doing. Here, here. Awesome. Now we're having the three heads. Now also the volume here for this part of the torso. This part is this volume, and this is this volume. So I do also have to consider that. Because on top of this volume, I'm going to attach all of these necks. So these necks now are going to work something like this, maybe squash in here. We're having one head here, and we're having another head here, maybe. And we're having this other head that will be connected here, something like this. So this is just a sketch, and I will keep sketching until I figure out what is that I'm looking for. Maybe these ears will be dragging that direction. This will be something like this. So this is following this line of action. This is also pushing this line of action like this. This is a little bit too straight, so I'm going to do something like this too. Something like this, so everything is having something like this. Awesome. Now on top of this mess that I drew here, I'm going to lower the opacity of all of this. And on top of this mask, this is like a cloud, I'm going to find my pose. On top of this thing here, I'm going to find my pose. But it's like, but well, why you did all of that? Here I found my forces. So here I found this force and this force that connects to this force. And all of those forces, believe it or not, will give me this shape of this character. Whoop! Whoop! Maybe the belly shape will show all the way here like this. And something like this. This leg will be something like this. Actually, I want to break that shape there, so it comes like this. So this thing comes something like this. This comes something like this. And for here I can stretch these legs like this back. And this other leg will come like this. I made that leg like almost like a human leg, but that makes sense that leg to be like that. That leg makes sense. That's how the legs of the dogs actually. Yeah, because this is this bone, this is this bone, and this. Oh, okay, it can be something like this. Ah, get out of here. I like this shape like a normal leg. And because it's cartoonish thing, I can cheat this thing and actually get to a shape like this. Let's see. Once I move the rig, I'll see if I can get to those shapes. Awesome. Now, this is maybe also the arm should be more pushing towards that direction because it's like so we're having this force of this shoulder maybe hiding this part. Nah, not too much, just a bit more to this side, to that side. So also I can take this arm out of this silhouette. Oopsie. We can take that arm out of this silhouette, something like this. Dopey. There you go. Now it's out of that silhouette. And then I can bring this volume here. And this volume will connect here with the back of the neck. So I create that one line in there. Oh, but see, also there's something happening interesting here. That this thing is going here, but this dude is looking there. So I can keep moving that, but I can keep this one line in. I can still one line this with the head of this dude, which is going to be something like this. Awesome. Now think. Awesome. Let's go there. Something like this. So this is moving that direction. So all the shapes are moving that way, and this is having that curve. So it's like, ugh. So I'm thinking on the. I'm thinking and drawing in movement. I'm not just making things like this or like a static, but I'm thinking of the movement, of how this piece will move eventually. So we're having something like this. Actually, I like how this is stretched that way. I like how that is a stretch. I like that sketch. I just have to put this on model. And the eye, this is the eye that comes like this. And then this hair will come like this. This ear will come something like this. Oops, the shape of this is something like this. And this eye is actually connected here. Awesome. Now this other, this mouth like this. Maybe I can enable the pupils to make them appear there. The head of this dude can actually be a squash. Can actually squash here. So I have something like this. And this dude will be pointing. This nose is pointing towards that thing. Oh, these eyes are bigger. This is something like this. And these hair will come something like this. Amazing. This Doritos shape will come something like this. Too symmetrical. And this eye can come like this. Okay, the head of this dude can end here, so I can enable a cheek layer here and squash that part there. Awesome. Actually, all of these heads should be a bit smaller so the body doesn't look small. There you go. This is the neck that connects there. Nose, mouth, awesome. Now the rhythm of this dude comes like this, like a question mark. And you know, I can make this rhythm of the head so it's not like straight, where I can make something like this rhythm. So I'm grabbing this dude head. I'm grabbing this dude head, moving this a little bit up. Awesome. And then this dude comes a little bit more up. Something like this. Now the head. I'm going to do something. I'm going to copy this just to have a reference of this dude. The number of hairs here. Super rough sketch. And I'm grabbing this and flipping this here just to have as reference. Where is this? Get out of here. I can grab this, move this here, flip, and then figure out how this head will look there. So something like this. So something like this. Now the neck, also the connection of the neck comes from here. So this neck actually will have this flow, like it's breaking here. So I can bring that, make that break make sense here by having this shape here. I'm thinking about shapes, not only lines. This is the shape and this is the shape that connects here, that neck. Something like that. And the hair, already this part is too messy, and also I am using this negative space from the neck to showcase here the head of this dude. So if I put the hair here, it's too much. So what I can do is bring this hair and put it here, something like this. And Henry, but the hair of this dude, if you flip this, is supposed to be here. Yes, but I'm changing this part too because I want to reveal the eye. I want to reveal the eye on the turnaround of the little puppy, which also have this overlapping hair on one side. I just flipped because it will be not convenient if I have a scene in which I'm showing the other side, which has the eye hidden by the hair. It will not convenient. So I'm just moving that as I want. There you go. And actually here we can have the shape for the choker. See? Now we found a good use for that empty negative space there. And then here we have the other part of the choker. We have this arm. It goes like this, and goes like this, and goes like this. Awesome. So that's how I went from this sketch of the animatic that is out of model to a sketch in which now I am using the shape language that I established for this character. And before getting to this, I went and did something like this. So I did this to find the rhythms, the flow of the pose, and those rhythms and flow of the pose is the things that will dictate how my shapes are going to move in this pose, how my shapes are going to behave in this pose. Look at this, dude. Look at this inside shape here. This is like a D here. This is like another D. But I was not thinking about it. I was thinking about the flow of the character. And by thinking of the flow and the inner forces inside of the character, the rhythm of the character, as a consequence, I was able to come up with all of these shapes. So yeah, there you go. Let's do the next step, and the next step will be The next step, let's follow the formula. Traditional, the next step will be a rough blocking. Awesome. Let's do a rough blocking on this same video, yeah. What I'm going to do now is take this sketch that I did here, copy, paste it, put it here, maybe change the color even, red. And what I'm going to do is bring this layer towards the front, and what I'm going to do is now take the rig, and post that rig on top of that rough sketch. Now flip this dude. Oopsie, no. I'm going to grab the body, flip the body. I'm going to grab the legs, flip the legs. Now I can get closer to what I have here. Let's go fast. I was too relaxed. Let me drink some coffee. Let me put myself in turbo mode. Awesome. Let's go. So, legs. Come here for a bit. Don't bother me. Oh, I was like, do I have this group, the upper legs on one and this on another one? And I was like, yes. And Henry, you're destroying the rig. Yeah, sabe. That's it. We can destroy this dude whatever we want. Don't be, and that's the thing, that when I was just starting learning animation and all of that, and maybe working with rigs too, I was so afraid of breaking the rigs. I was like, oh no, I can only move the rig like this and like this. No, dude, you can grab that dude and move it like crazy. So here, for example, even though my sketch is this size, I'm not going that crazy because I will get out of model. So I push on my sketch, but my rig is also telling me like, hey dude, hey, we cannot go that far. Huh? So I'm blocking this dude around, blocking this dude. And then on top, after blocking, I do a tie down pass. So I grab that rough sketch that I did there, and then I tie down using these proportions that I have here as main reference for how is that I'm going to tie down this dude. So we have something like this, we have something like this. This dude will look that direction, but then I also have to flip these, and these will come here, and this will come here. So I have to be super aware when I'm flipping these things, how these parts are work or are connected. There you go. Also, these ears will be flipped. Well, this will move. Well, this will be here. This will be here. See, for example, now I found out that I need to put those eyes inside of the head. So the main point of me rigging this, the main point of me posing this is to find all the things that I have to fix on this rig before going to animation. So there you go, plop. Awesome. This goes towards the front. Oopsie. I need to add the visual pegs also. I forgot that also. Okay, let's go. The neck of this dude, he was going to be hyperextended. So you come here. Now this head will flip. See, the sketch is also like super huge compared to this character, but the sketch is only as a base of how is that I'm going to move this dude around. And then on the tie down is where I start fixing a lot of things, and even the perspective. I have a mentor who used to ask us in class, like, what is the first thing we have to do before moving to tie down? And everyone was like, I know, I know, I know. And I was like, I have no idea. I was like, I have no idea. It was, we draw the perspective grid. And I was, the perspective grid? It's like, yes. I'll show you that in a second. But first of all, let me block these two to match the silhouette that I designed on the sketch pass. Come, 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 come. There you go. It's like, Henry, but how is it you're going to animate that pose to another pose? Wait for the animation. Wait for the animation month. Or the animation week, which is going to be soon. As soon as I finish with the rigs, I'm starting animating all of this craziness. Did I put the formers on this? No. Now the neck, the base of the neck, I don't need it, so I'm going to hide it over there. And this neck over here, I can do something with this. I'll leave it there for now. Now, you know, come on, go away for a second. I want to look at the flow of this neck. Okay, this neck comes like this. And this part of here comes like this. And how is that I can reveal this line here? Oh, it's not revealing that line. Whatever. We'll figure it out later. Awesome. I have that head there. I have to consider this. Oh, it's like tack, tack. But I like the curve going down here. Nice. Actually, on this blocking pass, I'm not supposed to be moving the formers, but I'm trying, because this pose is a little bit too messy and complex, I'm moving some things around just to help me visualize all of this better once I start drawing the new pass on top. What is this? The head. Okay. Does this have? Yes, amazing. So here, instead of going here and copying in top of the sketch, I'm looking at the sketch and translating that information from the sketch here to a rig. I'm not tracing on top of the sketch, because on the sketch I know that I went crazy and I break this dude also. I use the shape language of this character, but I break the character a lot. And then in this pass in which I am blocking, this is the pass that I'm going to use to create a new rough tie-down pass to clean, to be more accurate with the volumes and the model of this dude. Also on this neck we'll do something like this. This thing should be over here, and neither here. I can maybe increase the volume of this body a bit. A little bit bigger. But that's it, not that much. And and then I can flip this, put this here, hide this a little bit here, because I don't want to use too much that empty space there. Moving the stuff over there. Poop. Now, how is that this upper neck is working? Oh yeah, here is breaking. Here is breaking. This part comes here. And how is that this head once lined there? Okay, so I'm taking this head and following the information from the sketch. Not tracing the sketch, but following the information of the sketch. Now we have something like this. Then crack, the neck breaks there. Neck breaks there. Then this part of the neck will be hidden by the shoulder. This is the hair. Oof, looks super badass with the hair over there. There you go. That's something also that I learned from a mentor once I hear the let yourself feel this feeling of awe, of admiration when you work and on the work that you do. Let yourself feel impressed or excited for the things that you do. And yeah, that helped me big time enjoying the process and cheering all the victories that happen along the way the process, because it's not only about the final result, the final pose, but also how is that you get there. How was all of those nice discoveries? That's when I look at this hair in the back, it looks super nice. I was like, nice, dude. I felt excited, and that's something that excitement, that joy is something that you can develop by being open to those feelings while working, not just waiting for the final result, but actually that's I think is what it meant to enjoy the process. Awesome. Then will come something like this. Boop, 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 boop. We are not seeing this, but I like how can we see some of them, so I can hide this a little bit here. Looks funny. And here I can create like a squashy thing here. So this is like, but still on the tie down is where I'm going to start polishing all of these things and to actually designing shapes that make sense. Whatever, I'll fix that later. This is a visual clue that I leave here for myself on the tie down to be like, hey, it will be nice instead of hiding this head completely to show like I don't know to show. Oops, wait. To show. 1 second. To show. Okay, to show the neck squashing there, not just hiding the neck, but also actually also showing how the neck is squashed there. New drawing there, and then here I'm going to create with the normal brush. I'm going to create something like this to make that this is like squashing there, you know. So now I'm going to color this. See, I didn't paint this with the black color from the color palette of this dude, so I have to make sure that I'm coloring with the correct colors. And then I'm bringing this piece up. Awesome. Awesome. There you go. Now it feels like. And I can create another cheek. This is the cheek for this other dude, right? Yeah. Oh, well, doesn't matter. And this is your cheek here for this other eye. The ideal will be to have two cheeks layers, so I can move each one independently and not both of them together. So let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's not be lazy. So I grab the cheek here. I'm going to put this on a group layer, create a new composite here. Now I'm going to call this cheek G, and then notes, clone selected, blah blah blah, drawings only. And I'm going to create a peg for the cheeks, which is going to keep both. Let me delete this one. And what I'm going to do is grab a new peg here, duplicate this cheek to the other side, move it here, put it there. Actually, I should be doing this on this. Whatever. And then put a static transformation here. So I keep that clone position there. Up. Amazing. And if I want to turn this off, look, I come here and poop, enable this. And that, if I want to turn that on again, wait, where's that thing? Where's that thing? Where's that thing? Here. See? See? I can enable that thing. So where's the pivot point of this? Whatever, it's there. So here's the cheek. Wait. Here's the cheek. Awesome. It's like, and this dude will come like this. Actually, I need to add deformers on these ears. And now that I know the trick of getting rid of those, so I was not putting deformers on these things because every time that I put deformers, it will smooth the corners of these shapes. But now I figured out that if I double click on the ear and I go to line thickness and I put pencil line smoothness to 0 and I put fit error to 100, I have no idea what technically what it means, but it doesn't smooth my things anymore, and I can put deformers here like crazy, and those things will not. I will keep the sharp corners that I really like on my design. So just to anticipate, I'll put 3 points here, 2 here, and 2 here. Awesome. And after adding those deformers, I have to keyframe everything again. So if I move the curve here, it will not affect the other side. There you go. Something like this. Amazing. So the Dorito shapes are deforming towards the side that they are coming, so towards that side. Now, interesting, this ear will have another deformer. First, I'm going to line thickness, putting this to 0 and this to 100, creating a new deformation chain on this. Boop, and on top of this deformation chain, I will start building the deformers. But this is something interesting because here, I will build deformers inside this shape, so I don't break this dude. I hope this works. No idea if this is going to destroy this shape actually, but let's figure it out together like a team. And then poop, put this there. And I change always when I put a deformer to drawing to parented peg, because if I move this part and I don't change that, look, the deformers stay there. But if I grab this ear and I change drawing to parented peg and I move this, see, it's moving with a deformer. So that's a good practice that I always like to carry when I am adding deformers on every part of these crazy dudes. Yeah, it didn't break these parts. Amazing. Oops. There you go. So now I'm adding the ooh, no. Oops, yeah. I did key all of those things. Amazing. There you go. Now this arm will come and what if I flip this? I think this will be less intrusive for this arm. Yeah, that actually it makes sense. So I'm trying to figure out if I can flip a piece to avoid destroying the deformers too much, I'll do it. I'll do it for sure. So I have something like this. You can have a straight. Now you know what? This could create the arc there. Awesome. And this paw, this leg, this paw patrol can be here. I hate it completely. Something like this. Awesome. Awesome. Now I'm grabbing all of this and move all of this a little bit down. Oopsie. You know, I should have a body controller and leave the legs apart. So I want to legs. What is this? Yeah, I need to connect the two legs. These two legs. No, it won't make sense. No. Let's not do that. Ah! I almost my tablet almost fall. Okay, forget about the idea. I'll just grab all of this, move down, grab my legs here, move down, and then grab this leg, move like this. Oof, oof. I forget that I was in turbo mode. Wake up! Wake up, dude. Also. So yeah, I can tweak this leg and make it look more like humanly leg. There you go. Actually, I shouldn't be moving these deformers too much. Yeah, because I'm in the blocking pass. In the blocking pass, I try not to move those things too much. This part of the body. Yeah, something like this. Oh, oops. You know what? Before doing that, I should finish posing the arms. Oopsie. So arms comes here. Now this arm, the shoulder will come here. The shoulder will come here, something like this. Front to the front, towards the front, towards the front. Awesome. Now I need to one line this shoulder with the arm at this point here. This arm comes like this. This comes like this. We might not see this part, maybe. Let's see. And then this comes here, but this arm should be in front. We shouldn't see that overlapping line. Amazing. See that shape? Awesome. We're going to have to create a new shape for the foot. This part will come here, something like this. What is this? Where is this? Get out of here, you nasty dude. Better. So this part comes like this. Awesome. There you go. And maybe I can move this lower body a bit down to follow that line of action that I already established. Now I'm going to look at this side view, and this is the length of this tooth. So I'm trying to see if I'm not breaking the length there, and I'm not. So I can give this form, this shape that I established here. And remember this one line thing here? That's something that I have to carry here. So I'm translating that information from the rough to here. Something like this, black. But I want this curve. You see? That now I'm in the blocking. We're here. Rough blocking, but I'm already starting to move things too much. But because I also want to make my tie down presses easy. Okay, okay, there you go. The tail could come here like this. Upsy, dude, come on, there you go. And this will come here. Amazing. Awesome. So I'm translating again. I'm repeating that many times because I'm not trying to copy on top of the sketch. I'm translating the information because a sketch is information. I'm trying to copy all of the information from the sketch to my rig here. Now, how the freaking is that I'm going to one line that part with this part? Oh, amazing. Now I want to thank Henry from the past to think about this and being able to rig this dude in a way that I can. Ooh. Now, but now this belly should be on top of this. Come on. These are all the issues that I wanted to find out right now. So I will solve those things right now. So see, I move the belly towards the front, but now it's overlapping the line art, so I have to make another cutter here in the belly and say like, dude, listen to me. You will always, 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 forever and always be cutted by the line art of this torso. Nah. You know what? By the outer patch of the torso. Nah. And by the outer patch of this. Oof, yes. I have no idea what it meant. What it meant, but it worked. It worked. Yep, 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 yep. It worked, it worked, it worked, it worked, it worked. And this food will come like this. And I have to create decent rhythms here. This shape is too complex. So I'm going to reset all of this. Me trying to create a human leg here. So I'm trying to one line all of these shapes to create a decent flow between these lines. Just with patience and a cup and a coffee. There you go. What time is it? 4. I have live drawing. There you go. And this comes like this. Beautiful. Now this is going to taper towards the bottom and open here towards the top. See? Isn't it beautiful? Awesome. Now I have to clean this line from here to here. Is it the same thickness of this part and this part? No, right? See. So that's something that I have to fix or figure it out. Now this should be a little bit going that way. I shouldn't be cleaning too much the formers, but as I mentioned, just to facilitate the tie-down process that I'm going to show on the next video. But for now, this is the first part of posing this character to test the rig. What's up? You like it? It's amazing. Imagine this, having to do this multiple times for the animation process. And on the animation process, I'm being even more precisely. Yeah, whatever. So this is my first blocking of this dude. Next, I'm going to do a tie down on top of this just to polish, find new ways of connecting this character, polishing the flow, and making, most importantly, this is the main idea of the tie down, is putting down clear statements of like this line comes and works like this, and this shape works like this. So it's about clear statements, and that is what I'm going to be doing on the next video. Whoop, open eye, of course. You'll be like, what the heck? And I'm bringing these people here back to here back. So yeah, it's there. It's coming together. The pose is coming together. If I disable these notes, nope, nothing happened. Nothing happened here neither. There you go. We have something like this, this is just like the basic blocking. And on top of this basic blocking, I will draw a tie down in the next video, and then on top of the tie down, posing the rig, all the deformers, moving everything to have clear shapes. On top of those, I will draw a new drawing layer and put notes, just me behaving like my own director, like my own judge, and pushing myself to clean the design and have a perfect polish. Hope you like this video, and see you next time. Bye!